All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless me here yet again, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Happy New Year again. Slowly getting over the Dodge Omni road trip that I've been on. The Omni is not the greatest riding car, but it is the common car for the most part, with a few, like I say, surprise add-ons that you'll encounter when you jump into the latest Dodge Omni. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then join Patreon for $1 a month. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. Now, I want to talk though about KK Downing, who used to be in Judas Priest. He now has this offshoot thing called KK's Priest. Okay. From a lawsuit standpoint, look, I don't know if there was a lawsuit. You guys are probably more up on the inner workings of Judas Priest and KK's falling out with Priest. He was replaced by this guy by the name of Richie Faulkner. Now, a few months back, Richie Faulkner had what's called an aortic aneurysm. Now, we don't know why. Just pretty healthy guy, 41 years old. Yeah, and of course, I did a video about this, and I thought it was a little peculiar. I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek here. Normally, the news media, back, say, in 2019 or maybe 18, would be a little concerned that a 41-year-old man who seems pretty healthy would just have this event happen while he's actually playing guitar on a Judas Priest song called Painkiller. All right. Sometimes God has a weird way of waking you up. So he spent 10 hours, I believe, in surgery, survived, told everybody, hey, I'm made out of metal now. This is great. Yeah, everybody should experience an aortic aneurysm there. Richie, good job. So I'm reading this article. KK Downing says he wants to be around for a long time and he wants to keep rocking out. Now, he's already a bit of an older dude. If you look at him and then you look at the kind of music that he's making and you're thinking shuffleboard, bocce ball, or heavy metal guitarist, I'm thinking the first two. All right. Now, as the time goes on and I get older and I'm looking at life through a man's, lens who's not, a spring chicken anymore, right? That would be me. And Uncle Steve Perry, he always says, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. You start to look at life and you go, wait a minute. This looks kind of ridiculous over here. Okay. I'm going to say this. I think heavy metal is a sport that is primarily designed for somebody who's a bit younger, both the listener and the musician themselves. Now, we all like to think that, hey, this person is 80 years old. It's great that they're still playing heavy metal. Heavy metal is a style, though, that I think really lends itself to a younger physique and a younger listening audience, all right? So when I look at KK Downing, I'm thinking Crypt Keeper could be, which is perfect for Judas Priest. And it's not to say that you can't be an old geezer and play hard rock or heavy metal. However, there are certain things that you used to be able to do that you might not be able to do anymore. Now, in the case of KK, he's playing guitar, so you can be a support player. He doesn't have to have, these screaming vocals. He has someone in his band who does that. Good on him. But he wants to be around for a lot longer. And I'm thinking, okay, great. Now, how do you suppose KK, after witnessing what happened to his replacement in Judas Priest, how do you suppose that KK Downing is going about this? Is he going to go vegan? Is he going to be ingesting a lot of supplements? Is there a miracle powder that he's ordered with all of the nutrients found in, or used to be found in, vegetables or in other things, but because we've basically GMO'd everything up, that it's harder to find all of the clean eating food that we used to find? Does he have a plan to kind of overcome that? No, KK does not have that plan right now. What KK Downing, though, has told the government news outlets is that he's planning on getting his jetpack. Now, that's my new euphemism, because first, what you do is you go out and you do the thing, right? You go to Walgreens, and then you go to Walgreens again. Now, if you're over in the UK, there's different, places that you go. I think the government's out there on the street, actually, and they got a table set up, and they got a big sign. I think it flashes like neon. It says, "Come over here." And then you go and you do the thing there, which is just so convenient and great. And you know what I love about the government media is they'll tell everybody, well, this is free. You do this and it's free of charge. No, ain't wrong. So the government has paid the big pharma companies in order to come out there and do the thing, right? And to administer the thing. So KK's solution to a long and healthy life, and it's in the article, is to go grab his jetpack and do another thing. So it'll be the third, and then that jetpack will probably wear off, because it seems that these things kind of they wear off quickly, and then you have to get another one, and most likely another one. So we've really kind of drifted away from what it means to live a long, healthy life and how you go about achieving that goal. And maybe he didn't hear what happened to Richie Faulkner, 10 hours of surgery, and maybe he'll perform again. It would be cool, I guess, but wouldn't that be kind of risky with all of the new metallic hardware that was installed? I don't know. Why would you want to go through that? And I've been saying this is kind of like Russian roulette. Now, there are different outcomes for different age groups, obviously. They say that in some cases, I was watching a certain doctor who got banned, who said with some of the older folks, and I think KK Downing would fit in this category, that there is a temporary benefit to putting on your jetpack, your booster pack, where you'll fly away. But it's a temporary benefit. And then again, which is convenient for those who are selling this stuff, is you're going to need another one and another one. So I guess this is going to be his long-term plan, where a lot of people would say, you know what, I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to do the keto diet, or I'm going to exercise more, or I'm going to spend more time decompressing, right? And when you're in a heavy metal band and noise is blitzing you, right, for many hours a day, if you're rehearsing or recording, I don't know how you decompress from that. I mean, I guess the only way to do it is to put on your jetpack, right? And then hope for the best. Hope that jetpack takes you to the next jetpack. And this is the only hope people seem to have. And it's puzzling because of that example about Richie on stage performing Painkiller and then being in surgery for 10 hours. And there was nothing mentioned, of course, about Richie's thing status, but a bunch of people have sent me articles saying, oh yeah, he definitely did the thing. There's no question about it. That's why they're not talking about it, because they don't want to put one and one together, because then people will be like, hey, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Healthy 41-year-old guy. Wait, what happened there? So, I mean, there's a constant sort of pushing of certain information off to the side as if it doesn't exist. And then When you try to introduce different information, they push that information aside and call you a kook, conspiracy theorist, crazed individual, somebody who needs help. It's all in your brain. For people like Eric Clapton, they're saying, well, it's got to be in his brain, and nothing definitely didn't happen. Nothing happened. He's fine. Why do people continue to think that something happened to them when we know from the outside that it didn't? It's like they know what's inside your brain, which I guess if you're Elon Musk, that is probably going to be a reality very soon. Technology, it's being used for so much good, and we are living in some very dark days. But I'm not trying to make light of this. I'm just wondering why a man like KK Downing would trust this system when he's got living proof that the guy who replaced him in the band that he used to be in and loved very much, right? Because he was always kind of upset that they replaced him. And here's the guy. I'm surprised he didn't come out and say something like, well, serves them right. But he didn't do that. He should have at least looked at the situation and said, nope, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to endorse that. But this to me, folks, sounds like there's some kind of mass hypnosis going on. There has to be some explanation as to why people are behaving this way. And the fact that the other people who disagree with my point of view, for instance, wouldn't do a little investigating on their own. Like if they pull the curtain aside just a little bit, right? But they're afraid to. I mean, a good friend of mine said, okay, I'm going to send you down the rabbit trail. I'm going to send you a link. Now, I'd already been down a few trails, but he sent me another link, and that link was definitely a rabbit trail. And it was enlightening. They say, like Eric Clapton's co-writer of his new song, like he's way off the rails, like completely insane, right? That guy is smarter than probably 95% of the news media. He's smarter. He knows more. I mean, you just read the way he writes things, or watch some of his videos, or listen to the level of knowledge that he has about things that most American citizens either don't care about or they just don't want to know. All of that is true. And the person that says, well, you should see what they're saying, it's crazy. It's complete tinfoil hat stuff. But yet, why not spend some time looking into it and then really debunking it? Now, you can tell somebody that you've debunked their claims, but then you have to show actual receipts. You have to say, okay, this particular doctor says da 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 da. But that's not what they do. They just discredit, they smear, and they make these blanket statements like, experts have already said that this claim is untrue. All right, but you have to actually go in and dismantle it like a bomb. If somebody drops a bomb, if this guy Robin, who I'm talking about, drops a bomb, then if you're the news media and you're going to come along and tell everybody this is BS, well, dismantle the bomb, use facts, use science, use evidence. Don't do a fact-free critique on Robin or anybody else who's a skeptic. And I hate that word skeptic because it almost sounds like, again, they have a religion. They have a religion, because a skeptic, like for instance, would be, hey, I don't know if Jesus actually rose from the dead. I don't know. I want to see proof. And by the way, there are guys that have written books on it, like Lee Strobel. And if you show people the book, they go, oh, well, I don't know. I still don't believe it. All right. Well, there's physical evidence. There's eyewitness testimonies. There's extra biblical testimony. And I don't mean to just go all over the place in this video, but it's up to them to come along and do some journalism instead of propaganda. Because propaganda is the government, and the government is basically telling you that you need to do what KK Downing is doing, right? And what Richie Faulkner did. They're telling you this is what you need to do with your life. And most people are like, okay, if that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do it. But that's not enough for these people. Because if they're wrong, I think they want you to go down with the ship, with them. They want you to be as miserable as they are. And I don't know any other explanation. You can't be happy. That's what they're telling me. I can't be happy doing what I'm doing right now. The only way I can be happy is if I do what they do. And then they approve of what I've done because I'm now in their club, their religious club. No, this isn't how these, first of all, most human beings, at least maybe a couple of years ago, were naturally skeptical and used to just push back. When everybody was going one way, a lot of people were like, whoa, why are they all going that way? Now, the natural response today is, oh, look at what they're doing. Let's go. In the old days, people used to say, no, something's up. I ain't doing that. Just because, and again, this goes back to when you were a child and your mother said, you know, if Johnny was going to jump off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge with him? And that was an example of if Johnny was doing something really stupid, you probably shouldn't do what Johnny's doing. And it was a stupid, simple, metaphor for what we're dealing with right now. If all of these people are doing something really, really stupid, why is it your duty as a human being to go along with their stupidity? It's not. Thomas Jefferson said just the opposite. You have a moral obligation to disobey. So anyway, long video toward the end. Again, KK Downing, Richie Faulkner, they're all doing the same thing. The government's saying, yes, we know what's best for you. Anyway, I want to thank the patrons who've stayed, which was kind of surprising. I lost about maybe 20% of my overall patronage. I didn't expect that when the calendar flipped to January 1st. If you can help me out, $1 a month, $2 a month, we got $3, whatever, $5 a month, whatever you can afford. We had a lot of adjustments as well, and most of them were downward adjustments. I get the whole Brandon economy and all the things that are happening in our world and the uncertainty and worrying about your family and yourself. And I get that. This is just a little YouTube channel. This is nothing life altering. But if you do like the content and you can afford to do $1 or $2 a month, now's the time. Now's the time. Think of it as a New Year's gift or something for yours truly. Or if you like interesting content, you want to keep it around because, again, I am at the whims of the platform here. And believe me, it fluctuates from month to month. I'm doing okay. You do typically pretty well during Thanksgiving, Christmas, but January things really start to change typically. So again, thanks for your support. If you're not supporting, I guess watch the videos a lot, put them on repeat play, get them in a folder or something, and just click on the videos and let them play all day. You can go to work, come back, and they'll still be on. And, your parakeet or your cat will be watching me, which will be just fine because I tend to be very entertaining for small children and animals. So again, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.